Tasmania is an Australian-American cartoon sitcom produced by Warner Brothers Animation from 1991 to 1995, broadcast in the United States on Fox, in Australia on ABC Kids and in Canada on Baton Broadcast System. The show follows the adventures of the Looney Tunes character, Taz, in the fictional land of Tasmania. Similar to other Warner Brothers cartoons of its time, such as Animaniacs and Tiny Toon Adventures, Tasmania frequently broke the fourth wall, and often made jokes showing that Taz could actually speak perfectly normally when he wanted to. The intro indicates that, in this rendering of Tasmania, the sky is always yellow, rain or shine. The title song is performed by Jess Hunnell and Jim Cummings. Characters equals the Tasmanian Devil family equals Taz he is the central character of the series and appears in every episode. Taz is ill-tempered, frequently hungry, and has a very big dislike of water, though is less ferocious and more thoughtful than his original incarnation. He works as a bellhop at the Hotel Tasmania. Jean Tasmanian Devil Taz's dedicated, doting mother. Many episodes circle around her speaking on the phone and running through a long list of chores she's created for herself. Hugh Tasmanian Devil Taz's easygoing father, whose voice and mannerisms are a parody of Bing Crosby. Hugh likes orange juice, golfing, and bowling, and will often over-explain things to the point where he'll say blah blah blah, yakety schmackety to speed things up. Molly Tasmanian Devil Taz's 13-year-old sister. Despite being more refined than her brother, she often shares his vicious nature, though in a more sibling rivalry sense. Jake Tasmanian Devil Taz's little brother, who often looks up to and idolizes Taz. Dog the Turtle Taz's pet turtle, who acts like a dog. Drew Tasmanian Devil Taz's uncle, who talks and acts like Bob Hope as a reference to Hugh's parody of Bing Crosby. Like Hugh, Drew enjoys golf, bowling, and heading out on road trips and spoofs of Hope and Crosby's Road to film series of the 1940s and 1950s. Equals Hotel Tasmania staff equals Bushwhacker Bob Taz's loud, grouchy and incompetent boss. Owner of the Hotel Tasmania, he is largely self-centered and thinks very highly of himself, despite rarely doing any actual work and preferring to leave any and all tasks to his staff. His demeanor is a send-up of Basil Fawlty, just as all the hotel segments were direct spoofs of the British sitcom Fawlty Towers. Mum Bushwhacker Bob's mother, who is much calmer and wiser than her son. Despite her son owning the Hotel Tasmania, Mum is the true backbone of the establishment. She is often quick to criticize her son, much to Bob's chagrin, despite her accusations typically being true. Constance Koala an enormous but gentle-spirited koala who is the maid at the Hotel Tasmania. She is quite fond of singing and dancing, despite her dancing often causing unintentional destruction. Mr. Thickley a multi-talented and upbeat wallaby who works at the Hotel Tasmania, although his exact job title is unspecified. He considers himself a jack of all trades, always preempting the activities he does with Taz with an exclamation that he's an expert. He enjoys doing favors for Taz, but his incompetence usually results in mayhem. He also hosts Tasmanian Theatre. Equals Outback characters equals Didgeridingo a self-serving dingo who pretends to be Taz's friend so he can avoid dangerous situations and discomfort at Taz's expense. Both he and Taz share a mutual love for bottle cap collecting. A scavenger, treasure hunter and chronic collector, he often takes advantage of Taz's strength and rabid nature to hunt rare treasures. Typically when he gets what he wants, he still berates Taz for bringing it back in a tarnished condition. Wendell T. Wolfe a neurotic thylacine who is desperate for any type of friendship. When not being hunted by Taz, he usually drives him crazy in his efforts to befriend him. His personality closely resembles that of Woody Allen. Francis X. Bushlad a white-skinned, red-haired Aboriginal boy who unsuccessfully hunts Taz as a rite of manhood. Despite their tribal society, he and his entire tribe behave and speak like highly intelligent, aristocratic businessmen. His name recalls silent movie star Francis X. Bushman. Minor characters Bullgator and AXL a pair of alligators who unsuccessfully tried to trap Tars for the enjoyment of zoo-going children all over the world. Bull is the leader of the duo, always acting in a confident and cheery attitude even while reprimanding AXL. AXL is Bull's hunter in training, constantly naive though often subject to Bull's corrections. They vaguely resemble Laurel and Hardy. Buddy Boar full name Hamilton Butkus Boar, he fancies himself a yuppie, is often seen talking on his cell phone, and claims to be Tars's best friend. Though Buddy tends to take advantage of Tars at times, he does not seem to treat him nearly as bad as Didgeridingo does. He was established early in the show but was seemingly ill-received, reflected in several fourth-wall-breaking moments by the show's characters. As such, Buddy's appearances were uncommon. His later appearances suggest he was promoted to the show's producer after he was considered to be an unlikable character on the show proper, and he later attempts to direct an episode featuring Bull and AXL with catastrophic results. Daniel and Timothy the Platypus brothers are twin brothers whose love for do-it-yourself projects usually end up causing trouble for Tars. They closely resemble Daffy Duck, in appearance and manner of speech. A pair of episodes deal with their obsession with the primetime cartoon The McKimsons, a The Simpsons parody featuring a character who constantly shouts "No way, I'm out of here, man!" The kiwi although somewhat resembling a kiwi, this silent bird can run as fast as the Roadrunner, often being chased down by Tars in search of his lunch in the same nature of Wile E. Coyote. The Bushrats are a group of rats in tribal costume. They speak in an odd mix of real and nonsense languages that are appended by mismatched, humorous subtitles. Their favorite phrase is Spanferkel, which is similar to the German word Spanferkel that translates to small, young pig, which still gets suckled. Willy Wombat originally cast in a Bugs Bunny-like role against Tars, Willy resents this typecasting and greatly admires Tars and his career. His determination to remain pacifistic and polite usually reverts to frustration and rage by the end of his episodes. Ironically, his friendly nature was previously used by Bugs in 1980's Spaced Out Bunny. Looney Tunes characters Bugs Bunny, in A Devil of a Job, Bugs appears as a deus ex machina, driving a souped-up Jeep out of a tar pit, saving Tars, and then asking, "Is this the left turn at Albuquerque?" In Willy Wombat's debut episode, Willy phoned Bugs for advice about how to handle Tars. Daffy Duck is seen riding along with Bugs in the Jeep in A Devil of a Job. Yosemite Sam, after Willy phoned Bugs for advice, Tars phoned Sam. He's never actually seen. He expresses surprise that Tars has his own show by asking, "Ain't you retired yet?" Sam Sheepdog, in one episode Tars, working as a temp agent for carnivorous predators, substitutes for Ralph Wolf and attempts to steal sheep from Sam's pen. Foghorn Leghorn, because of his name, bushwhacker Bob mistook Foghorn for a hotel critic. Marvin the Martian, once came to Earth on vacation, glad his plans to destroy it failed. His attempts at relaxation are thwarted by Tars's noisy behavior, cajoling him into wanting to destroy the Earth again, and his actions indeed cause the Earth to explode due to a temporal anomaly. Roadrunner, he made a cameo appearance in the show and is caught by Tars. Tars is then about to eat him, but lets the bird go after AXL and Bull try to kidnap Tars. Episodes are copyright 1991, 1992, or 1993. Note that this does not always correspond with when they originally aired. Video games. 5 video games based on the show were made, 2 by Sega for the Sega Mega Drive Genesis, Sega Master System and Sega Game Gear, and 3 by Sunsoft, consisting in 1 for the SNES and 2 for the Game Boy. Home media release: 3 VHS tapes were released in 1993. A DVD containing the first 4 episodes of the series was released in Europe in April 2010, whilst later released in the UK in 2011 under the title Tars and Friends as part of the Kids WB Big Faces series. On May 14, 2013, Warner Home Video released Tars Mania, Season 1, Part 1, Tars on the Loose on DVD and Region 1 for the very first time. Season 1, Part 2 was released on August 6, 2013. Other appearances: in the Duck Dodgers episode MMORPG, one of the forms that Duck Dodgers turns himself into AXL. In this brief appearance, AXL's vocal effects are reprised by Rob Paulsen. Taz himself appears with Duck Dodgers in the episode Deathmatch Duck. References. External links. Taz-Mania at the Internet Movie Database, Taz-Mania at TV.com, opening theme at Retro Junk, show clips.